No, it's not true. The truth is that something not jam you. You not jam something. Because in that same place where you're complaining, there are people doing well. Am I talking to someone here? In that same place where you are complaining and crying, there are people who are making impact because of the favor that God gives to his people. And wherever you hear the sound of my voice, may that favor fall on you. Amen. Amen. In Psalm chapter 5 verse 12, he said, thou shalt encompass the righteous and favor him like with a shield. In Psalm chapter 30 and verse 5, he said, in his favor is life. In Psalm chapter 106 verse 4, he said, remember me with the favor that thou bearest to thy people. In Psalm 30 and verse 7, he said, by thy favor thou hast made my mountain to stand strong. The Bible says in Exodus 3 verse 12, I will give these people favor before the Egyptians. In Exodus 12 verse 35 36, he said, when you leave Egypt, you shall not leave empty. You can't serve God and be empty handed. The Bible says in 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 26, Samuel grew in wisdom and stature, in favor with God and with man. In Luke chapter 2 and verse 52, he said the boy Jesus grew in favor with God and with man. In Luke chapter 1 verse 30, he said, Mary full of grace, thou art highly favored. Am I communicating here? In Esther chapter 2 verse 5 and verse 7, he said Esther found favor before the king. The Bible says a scripture that I like so. When she was to deliver the child, there was no room. Not that there was no accommodation. He said there was no room for them. There is room, but not for you. When you have no evidence, people treat you like trash. There are people you are calling and they are not picking. There are people you are talking and they are not answering. Meanwhile, there are some people God has blessed. If they cough, everybody stand. If they sneeze, everybody's alert. A young man lost his father. And they called him. His friends called him after a month. They said, we are sorry, you are the firstborn. We heard your father died and he has been buried. He said, God forbid, how can my father die? Stop that. Somebody else called him. We heard your father died, he has been buried. He said, stop it, my father is not dead. 5 calls. He decided to call his younger ones in the village. He said, what is all this nonsense? They are saying Papa died and he has been buried. As the eldest son, I said, I should have been aware. They said, oh brother, sorry. We forgot to tell you. He said, you forgot? I don't understand. Is it true? He said, yes, he died. We have buried him. What? You didn't tell? He said, brother, stop shouting. If we tell you, what can you do? If we tell you, what can you do? Say, brother, see, we levied ourselves. Anytime you come home, all of us have to gather transport and give you. So what would have been your levy for transport? We just put it as your burial levy. Because we know if you come for the burial, we will still give you transport. So no need. Let's just use that money for the burial. So now you have heard, he's dead, you have buried him, no problem. See, firstborn, he was disregarded. Listen to me. Poverty odor is worse than body odor. Poverty odor is worse than body odor. Body odor can be arrested with perfume. The poverty odor announces itself. I don't mean you should love money. Listen, the love of money is the root of evil, but the lack of money is the root of sea finish. I'm not saying this with arrogant. I'm one of the few people, father, mother, grandfather, whatever, that can call for family meeting and people will gather. And what I say is what stand. If you suggest after I have spoken, make sure you have money to finance what you said. Am I talking to somebody here? Where I talk is stands. Do you know in a family today, the birthright is not who came out first. The birthright is bank account. Am I talking to somebody here? I want to prophesy on your life as you hear the sound of my voice. Your full identity, your full position in your family that the devil was tempered with, it will be restored to you. Take your seat. The prize for you to be great in life. How can you say the child I carry is the King of Kings and now there was no room for him? How do you feel when your experience don't look like your prophecy? How do you feel a man of God looked at you and said this will happen and you just got back, you lost your job? How do you feel when your experience is a testing time to test, to check you, to prove you? Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 2, to prove you whether you will turn from him. John chapter 6 verse 5 and 6, he said, where shall we buy bread? He said, yet he knew what to do, but he said that to prove them. Judges chapter 3 verse 3 and 4, he said God left enemies to prove them. There are some things God will allow happen to prove if you will follow him. All he wants for you to follow him. Matthew 4 verse 9, he said to Andrew and Peter, say, follow me, I will make you fishers of men. Matthew 9 and verse 9, the Bible says he repeated the same thing to Matthew, the custom officer. He said, follow me. In Numbers 14:24, he said, but my servant Caleb, because he has another spirit with him, he had followed me fully. In Psalm chapter 63 verse 8, he said, my soul followeth hard after you. Am I talking to somebody right now? My soul followeth hard after you. Hosea chapter 6 and verse 3, he said, we shall know if we follow on to know, for his going forth is at the morning dew. God is looking for those that will follow him, so he will test them. How do you feel when the prophecy is contradictory to the experience? How do you feel? Jesus was told that John was sick. He was told that John was sick, and he said, this sickness is not unto death, and John died. Jesus said this sickness will not kill him, and he died. Jesus said this sickness cannot kill him, and he died. God cannot lie. It is you that don't understand. Whatever God says, he has capacity, audacity, sagacity, tenacity to bring his word to pass. He is not a man for him to lie. If God has said you are blessed, that word has been empowered to come to pass. If God has said you are wealthy, that word has been empowered to come to pass. If God has said you prosper, that word has been empowered to come to pass. If God has said you are unstoppable, that word has been empowered to come to pass. If God has said you are getting married, that word has been empowered to come to pass. If God says you are fruitful, that word has been empowered to come to pass. It's not my word like fire, it's not my word like hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 40 verse 8, the grass may wither, the flower may fade, but the word of my God abideth forever. I've come to make a decree. God has sent me to Dubai to speak into your life that after this meeting, all that he has spoken about you, they will begin to manifest. I said they will manifest. They will manifest. Take your seat. How do you feel when you experience what you're going through. How? When what you're experiencing, the Bible says, there's a man in the Bible called Samson. If you read Judges 13, 14, 15, 16, Samson was the father of the Nazarene. The Nazarene are the people who don't touch their hair, they don't drink strong drink, they are born exclusive, their birth is always strange. Samson was the first Nazarene that was created, that was born. So he's the father of the Nazareth. Jesus was a Nazarene. That's why it's called Jesus of Nazareth. But Samson was a Nazarene, but Samson died a waste. Samson could not fulfill his destiny. Because Samson died, it became a proverb. Can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Why? Because the founder of Nazareth died a wasted material. But the Bible says in Acts chapter 10 verse 38, Jesus of Nazareth, who went about doing good. One portion says, can any good thing come out of Nazareth? The other said, Jesus of Nazareth, who went about doing good. The same city, the same place, they say nothing good can come. Somebody did not just only become good, he went about distributing the good. Maybe they say nobody can buy a car or build a house. You will distribute cars. Acts 10:38. How God? What about doing good? I come with the word of the Lord. Except you didn't come here. Listen, whether you like prosperity or not, listen to me. For entry here, you are already implicated. I came to catapult you. I came to catamove you. I came to catashoot you. I came to catafire you. I came to cataspeed you. I came to catajet you. What you could not get all these years, before the end of October, receive it.